Assalamualaikum and hello to Major Norzilah. I am Muhammad Aliff and my friend Maizatul Nadia, Nurul Iffah, Nordiana, Chun Keat and Tan Yong from WEconomic Group would like to present about the relationship between multinational corporation and consumptions, industrialization, inequality and technology. Okay, so I would like to go to the introduction part about the definition of multinational corporation. Okay, so a multinational corporation, also known as MNC, is a company that conducts operation both domestically in the country of its origin as well abroad in other countries. Okay, so the headquarters for the management is situated in the home country and is known as the central office. So MNC is doing business that is called foreign direct investment, also known as FDI. So FDI is an investment that made by one party into a firm or corporation in a country that purposely to establish a long-term relationship between the two economies. So MNC are doing selling activities to gain profit by importing and exporting goods and services. So they will choose the lowest cost components of capital goods to gain the maximum profit to sell. So they are buying it from the country that sell the components at the cheapest price. Okay, so some of the MNC companies bring in their product from their home country in order to boost their economic country revenues. So multinational corporations have different models which are centralized, regional and multinational models. So the first model is centralized model, which they have a principal location in their country by building factories and production facilities in other countries. The second one is a regional model. Regional model, it dictates that a business keep in its headquarters in one country, which directs a network of branch offices that are spread across various countries. So the last one is multinational corporation, which it operate in their respective home countries, but they use subsidiaries in other countries to reach various market. Okay, so MNC need to ensure that their investment grows by using capital intensive techniques in order to allow them to grow significantly in production and marketing. So the advantage of MNC is that they can spread R&D expenditures and advertising costs over their global sales, leverage the resources and purchasing power they gain by purchasing from multiple countries, and use their technological and managerial skill for investment. So MNC companies aim to enter the international market to promote their business. They also aim to reduce transportation costs and makes it easier for global corporations to obtain feedback and information and preference from the consumers. So MNC companies can serve their markets more efficiently because they manufacture in the countries where the target markets are. Multinational corporations pay better than domestic corporations. So most of the local workers are interested to work in MNC companies, and it helps to aid the nation's economy.
My name is Nadia binti Ahmaji, metric number 263718. Today I will present about relationship between multinational corporation and consumption. There are 6 relationship. The first one is high quality at lower price. Multinational corporation give positive outcome to the consumption in other country. This is because the consumption in the country will increase as they will get the goods at the lower price and the goods quality. As we know, multinational corporations are based in developed nations. All goods and products are mainly high quality. They will be selling the product with a high quality at the lower price. The consumption of household has choice to choose the best product. For the second one is lower cost production. Multinational companies have lower cost production. They can be selling the product at the lower price than domestic goods. The consumer will choose the lower price goods compared to high price. This is because a benefit to the consumer, because consumer have choice to choose which product they can afford. However, it's become worse to the government to maintain the balance of payment in the country. The consumption in the developing country can increase. After that, various choices. Multinational corporation can increase consumption. For example, multinational corporation companies operating in Malaysia, such as Nestle, 7-Eleven, Apple, Amway, and others. This company can increase the consumption of Malaysians. If the multinational company cannot operate in Malaysia, consumption will be limited. This is because the multinational corporation is a good Malaysia to increase consumption of the household. The household has various choices to use. Next, increased taste. A multinational corporation can increase consumption when the company of multinational operate in another country, such as Malaysia. The consumption of the household in Malaysia can increase. For example, company McDonald's provide various of fast food such as burger, fried chicken, ice cream, and others to Malaysia citizen. It is an increased taste of Malaysia citizen. Malaysian also no need to go to the United States just to eat there. Next is export and import. Multinational corporation also can increase export and import to the certain country. It is because sometimes a raw material is not provided in the certain country. The multinational company will import raw material from other country. For example, McDonald's Malaysia company will import raw material from United States to maintain the original taste. It can affect the gross domestic product (GDP) of Malaysia because import more than export. The last one is unemployment rate. A multinational company can help developing country to reduce unemployment rate in the country. For example, when the multinational company operating in Malaysia, it can create job opportunity for Malaysian. This is advantage to Malaysia government to reduce unemployment rate in the country. When the labor force increase, automatically consumption will be increased. It is because Malaysians have money and they can spend their money to purchase goods and services that can afford. This is unemployment rate. If the unemployment rate reduced, the consumption will be increased. That's all from me. Next, I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
My name is Yong, matrix number 262826. I will continue to present the relationship between the multinational corporations and the industrializations. The multinational corporation will control and manage the industry and at least at the two countries. This type of the multinational corporation will participate in the foreign direct investment, which called the FDI, because the company will directly invest in the host country industry to obtain the ownership and try to avoid the cost of the transaction, because they will try to maximize the cost advantages in the international industry through the FDI. Hence, there is a relationship between the multinational corporation and the industrialization. The very goal of the manufacturer export from the newly industrialized countries which call the NICS, such as Malaysia, Taiwan, and Singapore, which in the ASEAN. The multinational corporations have played an important role on it. There are many export processing zones were established in a different country to attract the multinational corporation because they know that the potential of the multinational corporation in expanding the export of the manufactured goods and transferring the knowledge to the host country. Furthermore, the multinational corporation will take the advantages such as utilize the abundant supply, technical talents, and low wages labor by transfer some types of the manufacturing operation from their home countries to the developing countries. This kind of the relocation is based on the design, advancement, and standardization, which enable the substituting the production process and performing a decentralized operation with a minimal skill. The improvement of the communication and the transportation facilities have further promoted the relocation of the production. The multinational corporation can continue to grow to earn a profit and turnover by rationalization of the product on the most economic basis, although that is in the years of the industrialized country and the world economic recession. Hence, so many countries that undergo the industrialization need to cooperate with the multinational corporation. It's because it can help the developing countries attract resettlements, production, and contribute to their export effort. Moreover, in the FDI and the industrialization public policies, the attitude of the government of the NICS in the ASEAN does not seem to be passive or weak, as they assume which relate on the tourists. Inversely, they seem to have succeeded in bringing the activity of the multinational corporation in line with the national policies. However, it should not that the in terms of the government's power to issue for obtaining the benefits from the national operation, and that is the different in the different countries. The policy for the host country on the FDI and the industrialization may bring about this. So the multinational corporations are assumed to be the justified profit maker through the design of other things. If the assumption is correct, so the host country should create regarding the investment environment to let the multinational corporation can look into their country. However, the bargaining situation will change with changes in the host country if the multinational country from the different country competing from the suitable FDI for the suitable FDI place. So in this case, the host country will have the power to influence the investment process. The multinational corporation tend to approach some less developed countries serve as the place to attract for the FDI. So obviously, the MICS in the ASEAN have to become a place for them to evidence from the amount of the FDI. It also seems that the government of the NICS are trying to formulate the strategy for the use of the FDI in the industrializations, in the industrialization process in their country. So, as a conclusion, in order to expand the export of the manufactured goods, the foreign direct investment and such controlling the arrangement with the multinational corporation is very important for the NICS. They also play a very important role in the rapid export growth in the NICS in the ASEAN. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.
My name is Nadia Fazul. My measure number is 267972. I'm going to present about the relationship between multinational corporations and inequality. The concept of inequality is quite simple, but it is immensely complex. Inequality has become a huge issue in civilization for age. Keat stated that the relationship between multinational corporations and their impact on equality is thoroughly unclear. Nonetheless, there are numerous scholars that claim that multinational corporations have contributed to reducing income quality. Meanwhile, Milanovic and Sylvester stated that multinational corporations had no significant impact on equality. Using Ireland as an example, Virginia and Josh has studied a consequent effect on wage inequality in the host country. After the data were collected from Irish manufacturing sector, the findings show that the presence of the multinational corporations between wage inequality shows an inverted U-shaped relationship. inequality rises initially, reach a maximum, and then it begins to decline eventually as the presence of the multinational corporation increase. Based on the Arjen and Howitt indigenous growth model, the model linked with the wage equality in the host country and the existence of the multinational corporations. According to Arjen and Howitt, two stages of development occur when new technology is introduced. In stage 1, indigenous firms must obtain a template in order to experiment with the new technology that they are not familiar with. Firms in stage 1 require a proportion of skilled labor to conduct the study in order to discover the template. Meanwhile, unskilled labor continue producing the product by utilizing outdated technology. In stage 2, firms use the newly obtained template to determine the best method to implement the new technology, and by applying the new technology, they produce the final output. Firms in stage 2 that effectively apply the new technology, it only involves skilled labor for production by using the new technology, and due to training and schooling, the skilled labor force rises over time. The adjustment process that has been described and represent of multinational cooperation on wage inequality develops an inverted U-shaped relationship as a result of the development. Wage inequality increased in the early stage of multinational present because indigenous firms imitate multinational corporations by progressing through stage 1 and stage 2 and need highly skilled labor. Since all firms go to stage 1 and stage 2, the demand for unskilled labor declined to zero and wage equality decline as the presence of more multinational corporations in the economy follows the adjustment period. And at a certain point, when all firms reach at stage 2, only skilled labor will be employed. The assumption also is made on the blue-collar workers who are originally unskilled, whereas the white-collar workers are skilled. However, with the chance of the new technology being implemented, the blue-collar workers tend to be more competent in order to engage with the new technology. Therefore, it can be assumed that the team of the blue-collar worker improve over time, progressing from unskilled to competent. Initially, it seems that the wage inequality among the skilled white-collar worker as well as unskilled blue-collar worker will widen. And however, as blue-collar worker acquire additional capability, inequality significantly reduce and wage disparity decrease. Usually, multinational corporations that invest in the sector need skilled labor, which is typically found in white-collar jobs. There will be an increase in productivity and skills due to the new technology and better educated workforce. And this approach would result in rising the wage of inequality within each sector and eventually a decrease. As a conclusion, this demonstrates that a rise in the share of multinational corporations creates a greater wage inequality between blue-collar worker and white-collar worker. This is because the emergence of new technology through multinational corporations has doubled the requirement for a skilled labor force, resulting in an increase of the wage equality between unskilled and skilled workforce. And finally, unskilled workers become more skilled because they are using the new technology and cause the wage inequality to be reduced. And that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Keat. Matrix number is 270386, and I'm going to present about the relationship between the multinational corporation and the technology. As you know, technology plays a significant role in society today. It enables people to engage, learn, and think. And technology, throughout the history, technical innovation and transfer that lead to mechanization and industrialization has resulted in economic transformation, innovation, obtaining skill, knowledge, and productivity from an industrial standpoint. Furthermore, technology transfer by MNC will assist developing nations in achieving sustainable development while also preserving the environment and improving the quality of life for current and future generations. In addition to innovation and the expansion of knowledge and skills, the transfer of technology by MNCs to developing countries has led to technological progress in manufacturing equipment, technologies, and final products with economic advantages. Also, thanks to technological improvement, more knowledge and higher labor skills, an increase in the production ratio are achievable. Through the use in the manufacturing process, technology investment can directly increase the productivity. And for the next, we talk about the productivity. Technology is essential to both competitive and growth. Multinational technology transfer improves a country's technical capacity through contributing productivity and processing improvements. Innovation may also contribute to the formation of highly competitive sector, which, which may create funds for the host governments. The objective of adopting technology is not only to increase the production or the host country's economy, but also to improve the livelihood for the current and the future life. Economic growth. So we talk about economic growth, and constant economic growth may be possible through the development of new goods, which enhance knowledge and technology and products that lower the cost of innovation. Transferring knowledge and skills is seen to be essential for developing nations to adopt new technology. Information and skill transfer to local suppliers and the labor force is a foundation of technology spillover which can improve the existing knowledge and skills, ensuring that the host country can fully realize the potential of the technology transfer. And after that, we talk about the infrastructure. MNC's technology transfer that makes a difference in fostering sustainable development in the underdeveloped nations. Technology collaboration is regarded as a critical tool in the context of sustainable development. With the advancement of the technology, rural areas are being provided with an energy-related infrastructures such as lights, school equipment, water pumps, and so on. So we go to the factors that influence the technology of transfer. Regardless of the importance of MNC contributions to sustainable development and technological transfer to those developing countries, variables including government, markets, economics, R&D, infrastructures seems to be the factors that influencing the technology transfer and dissemination. The government of the country has a massive effect on the technological transfer. But if the productivity growth and improve that knowledge in the particular country, MNCs are more likely to be more complex in commodities transactions and processes in the host country. So about conclusions, capacity building programs may be tailored to local economies and cultures with the use of appropriate technology collaboration. A successful capacity building program will allow developing nations and multinational corporations to collaborate. Such a program will accelerate FDI and development inside the host nation by boosting technical capability, improving its balance of payment, reducing technological dependency on foreign sources, lowering unemployment, and enhancing the host developing countries and infrastructure. So that's my part. Thank you.
My name is Iffah Iliana binti Adenan. My metric number is 261886. For conclusion, the term multinational corporation has become internationally competitive because it has been widely adopted around the world in various forms where it can integrate the production and marketing processes of goods and service. Multinational corporations are also being replaced by the need to manage market globally as if there were a large number of markets separated between continents. This trend can present many challenges and opportunities for them to understand and realize how they can overcome it to compete well and effectively. This is because knowledge of how to manage situations in various countries is part of human resource management internationally. As the world economy opened up regulatory barriers to foreign investment, transportation, and communication, multinational corporations entering international market will find it easier to invest anywhere with lower risk conditions. Even the presence in several countries can create the name of the multinational cooperation because it has a sharp product demand and higher consumption than usual. Therefore, companies that have efficient management of product demand will further enhance the growth of their company. However, there are also small countries that do not deal with large multinational corporations. This is likely because the multinational corporation is the employer, landowner, and also the largest taxpayer in the small country, which can threaten the sovereignty of the host country when dealing with more powerful companies. Why they do not act systematically to threaten the host country? Efforts in the interest of their company are often not in their favor. Sometimes it is possible that the inflow and outflow of resources such as technology, data, and manpower of multinational companies will no longer be secret because this extensive provision of resources cause other countries to copy all important information about the multinational corporation by misusing it for their own benefit. To remain competitive in the world market, multinational companies will continue to expand into newer and larger world markets despite having to bear risk. This is because maintaining good relation with the host country is very important to gain success and profit for them. Thus, the limitations stated above indicate the need to create a world system that is responsible for regulating the action of multinational corporations. This is because they have to adapt to national and local needs through the development of new products by considering the rest of the world to continue to thrive in today's dynamic world. As there was an increase in nationalism and the acquisition of new skills in the host country, this resulted in the change experience being unpredictable by government policy in the country due to the inability of the country to act. In short, this multinational corporation can be classified as the only company that has the resources and space for them to plan and act according to market planning around the world. So that's all from our group. Thank you.